Esters, y'all, how y'all feeling, man? This Saturday, man, we having fun today. We having too much fun in the studio today. Me and
Nika.
me and Nika, the empty nesters. Y'all want to get at us? EMT_nesters. Y'all want to see what's so funny? EMT_nesters on YouTube, man. That's where we will be dropping the bonus footage. That's where we will be dropping the video from what you guys are listening to this morning, man. So listen, we back at it. Keys to making relationships work. So listen, I got one last key I want to get into as a segue as we transition into our topics, moving forward.
Okay, what's that?
All right. Co-parenting in relationships is a big, one of the biggest keys as well. As parents, and co-parenting, everybody parenting situation is different. You guys may have natural kids together. You may not have kids together. I think parenting tips apply across the board, in my opinion. And effective co-parenting is a big key in relationships, because whenever you guys on the same page, children are just smart enough to see the division, to drive a wedge in between,
and to
play it to the side of their favor.
Yeah.
And what happens in relationships when that's allowed to happen is you then get that friction in the relationship, because as a parent, I feel slighted if I'm the one that you're allowing the child to manipulate you against. As the other parent, now I feel slighted in the relationship, because I'm the parent, but you're listening to the child. You see, now that can go with natural kids, that can go with step kids. It's more
bonus kids. We're not gonna call them step kids.
Step, bonus, whatever you want to call them, they're not yours. But see, okay, now for me, and I can just only speak from my perspective, I love children. And so any bonus kid, as you call it, that I've ever had has gotten the exact same love that my own natural children have gotten from me. If they were in my home under my protection, I made sure that I gave them the exact same love and lessons that I gave my very own children.
Right, and I did the same, because if we couldn't do that, then we wouldn't be together.
But this is not about us, but just know I say that because that drives my perspective.
Yeah, it drives your perspective, but again, that's still like a package deal. Like, if you with this person who have kids and you have kids, you need to treat that person's kids the same as you treating yours.
That goes without saying, but now let's stay on topic. We're talking about the importance of that parenting relationship as it relates to the relationship.
Okay.
Because those relationships and how you move as a parent affects that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you doing this, your child like this, and you doing mine like that, that's gonna drive a wedge between a relationship.
True. But okay, so what that means is, how do you identify if this person is really on board with being? What if it's both of our child?
Actions are going to speak louder than words.
Do have parents that it's both of their child? It's not always a bonus kid situation. That's just our situation. What if it's two parents? We're both this child's natural parents, but we allow this child to drive a wedge because every time I say something, you allow them to get away with murder. And I'm trying to tell you that that's not good for the kid. And the kid see it, but the kid definitely wants what they want. Their kid, they don't know any better.
That's a good one.
So what do you do? What what's the remedy there?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know the remedy to that, because
we already said what it is. Effective co-parenting, being a singular unit that the child cannot drive a wedge between.
Okay.
You have to be a united front for your kids. You can't say.
Okay, so you're saying natural kid or
exactly. The same rules apply.
Same rules apply. Yeah, right.
The same rules apply. We're talking about parenting.
Yeah.
Again, doesn't come with a manual.
It sure
So as a parent, you're learning how to be a parent.
Right.
So as a parent, once you have that first child, that child's a child. They don't know anything. And guess what? You're a parent child. You don't know anything about parenting. So
basically, parents need to be on one accord.
Parents definitely need to be on the same page. You cannot allow children to drive a wedge between you, because it's going to drive a wedge in the relationship.
Yeah.
Because the parent that feels slighted is going to not be okay with that. I'm not going to be okay with this continuing to happen. And what happens is, as the child gets older, it only gets worse.
So how do you deal with it?
You deal with it by speaking the same language. You can't.
What if that person don't want to speak the same language?
Maybe we're not compatible.
We don't compliment each other.
I mean,
that's one.
Because that's my opinion now. So, because there are those that deal with that. There are those that have those relationships, and they're perfectly fine and okay with it. True story. I always get a true story pop up in my head. In my barbershop days, one day I was in the barbershop, right? And it was a cat in the barbershop with his teenage son. And I don't know what his teenage son had did, but he was like, cut all his hair off. That's what he told the barber. He cutting all his hair off today. The son got on his phone and called his mama and told his mama on his daddy while he was sitting. I can't make this shit up. This is a true story. This happened.
Okay.
That son walked out of that barbershop without getting his hair cut off. What does that say to me?
The mama is the authority.
And that child has been driving that wedge since he was a baby, and know that all he got to do is call his mama, and what his daddy say don't mean shit.
Yeah, they out there. Those types of
If one of my children would have ever tried some, Lord have mercy. But what does that do for that relationship? How do you think that dad feels in that moment? Now, of course, he may be okay with it. He's been putting up with it that long. So he was clearly upset in that moment in the shop, because I was there. I heard the conversation. That wasn't my client. It was a client that was in the shop, and anybody that was in the shop at the time know this story. Yeah. So there's some cats that corroborate this story. I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. This kid got on the phone and called his mama on his daddy, and his daddy bowed down. I'm gonna keep my opinion to myself on that, because I don't want to say nothing illegal. I said, but if one of my sons would have ever tried some,
you went back to the Boondocks.
What?
That show.
Say, man, look, when I got through with him and his mama.
What you
say, man?
Did not tell you.
But again, parents, my advice to you is to stay in a united front when dealing with your young people.
Yeah. Work together. Work together.
Listen, man, this has been our time for you guys this week. We hope you guys enjoyed this. We had a lot of fun today.
Yes.
We hope you guys enjoyed the show, man. We're going to be back at you guys on next week, man. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Go to our YouTube
Texas 101
page
Jams from the south side of this H-Town, man. We having so much fun. Shout out to my man, Go Getter, man, and the whole crew over at Texas 101 Jams, man. Peace, love, all that good stuff, my brother. Man, till next week, man, y'all got the empty nesters. Y'all take it easy, man. You're still on the air, man. You looking?
No, I was,
man. I'm not.
Because I seen you.
I'm not fooling with you, man. I'm not fooling with you, man. That's a true story, man. That boy sit up there and called his mama, and his daddy bowed down and let him, man, I'd beat the shit out of him and his mama. Oh, that's okay. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
No, but on Boondocks, remember when you said, did not tell you.
You talking about the episode with Don D.C. Curry,
Yeah.
with Ruckus Daddy. Yeah. I'd have been like Ruckus Daddy for sure on that one.
I was like, man.
I would have been just like Ruckus Daddy on that episode. Everybody would have got it. Bitch, I said, let me stop.